It's been widely known that LEGO's really been working on their environmental impact within the company. We all know that they're transitioning the traditional LEGO set bags into paper bags. They've transitioned the LEGO minifigure foil packs into LEGO minifigure boxes. And now for the first time ever, I am seeing a LEGO Polybag, once known as their traditional plastic bags for many, many years now, in a paper bag. And today, for the first time ever, I am exploring what a paper LEGO bag actually looks like, and I couldn't be more excited. So I was actually in Europe the other day where I got this magazine. I got it in Switzerland. That's here you can see. I think it is in German language. As you guys can see, it is pretty cool. But what really drew me to this magazine was the paper polybag attached on the front. Obviously, you guys know polybags have been in these plastic bags for many, many years now. And this was the very first time that I've ever seen a polybag in a paper bag. Obviously, I know LEGO has been making the switch to paper bags for a while now. However, all the sets that I have purchased have never had a paper bag in it. This is the very first one I'm getting. I'm very, very excited to check this out. This is the LEGO City magazine. It is set number 952311 and obviously contains this polybag here with 27 LEGO pieces, a LEGO minifigure, and a couple little builds, as well as this LEGO magazine itself. Now, obviously, this video isn't going to be about the actual magazine here, mostly because I can't actually read the language that is inside, and you guys aren't really here to see the magazine itself because it is definitely geared towards kids with the comics there. However, it does include some really cool games and some LEGO posters. Obviously, what you guys are really excited to see is this LEGO polybag, so let's check it out. So for the polybag itself, it's actually taped on to the LEGO magazine here, which I don't think it's supposed to be. A lot of the other magazines that were in the store that I just wasn't interested in weren't actually taped on with physical tape, but they used a plastic adhesive on the back of the polybag to hold it in place. However, the LEGO City one, which is the one here, the one I wanted, does contain this tape here. Now, I am going to really carefully extract the polybag from the magazine here because I don't want to damage either of them. But yeah, I am not a fan of the tape here. I wish they would have used the adhesives. It looks a lot easier to get off. But honestly, it wasn't too terrible getting these separated. Alright, so now taking a look at the official LEGO polybag here. So my initial thoughts are that it actually does feel quite sturdy. It doesn't feel like a very flimsy piece of paper. It doesn't seem like you would accidentally open this up. Like you would have to be deliberately ripping it to try and open it. It's not very thin like one might expect. On the front here, we actually have the official LEGO set, which is basically just the LEGO City logo and the image of the set, and it contains 27 pieces and uses 6+. It is hard to tell if this is what all polybags would look like in North America as well, because we do know that the Europeans do have a different box art than we do here in North America. But then on the back of the polybag here as well, you can see we've got all of the legal mumble jumble that is required for this. Lots of different languages, which I think is really cool, obviously because it is a European bag, so that's why it's a little bit different. And then we've got like the 1-to-1 scale and a little bit talking about the ocean and blue ocean, which I'm assuming is something environmentally friendly, but I can't tell because it's not in English. Obviously, this polybag I'm comparing it to has 46 LEGO pieces, and this one only has 27, so they're not the exact same, but you guys can see this is kind of the size comparison of the two polybags. This one definitely sounds a lot quieter than this one when it shakes around, but obviously there are more parts in it. They both seem equally as durable, I would say. I would be curious to know if this one, if it got wet or something like that, but odds are like how often are you actually getting your LEGO polybags wet? I can't imagine very often. Obviously, with this polybag here, it does have a little bit of a plastic at the back where you can see the LEGO pieces on the inside. However, with this paper version here, there is no way to see the LEGO pieces whatsoever. So now it's time to actually open up this polybag. I'm very, very excited to do it. Part of me wants to be able to just kind of like tear it, because that's how most people would rip open these polybags, but I am a collector. This is my very first paper set. I don't even rip open the polybags that I do get that are plastic, so I will be taking my X-Acto knife here and very carefully opening it. However, from the little tear that I just did right here, it does seem easy enough to tear. So what we'll do now is I'll open it up from the back here. Listen to that sound. That sounds very satisfying. Alright, so the bag itself was easy enough to open. You guys could hear it did sound very, very satisfying to do. And all the pieces are just inside here. So dumping it out, you guys can see this is what I'm left with the bag. The paper is pretty thin, but like I said, I still stand by that I think it's pretty durable. I don't, obviously if you wanted to rip it open and do the parts, you could. But you also could have done that with the regular plastic polybag in the store whenever. It's just like the minifigure bags. Those foils were really hard to open up. Now with the new boxes, it's very easy. Polybags have always been easy to open, so I don't think this change is going to result in like any more stolen Lego or anything like that. But you guys can see all the parts are here on the inside. Everything looks like it's intact. The bag is durable enough that I think that like the Lego wouldn't puncture through, kind of just like the polybag, so I don't really think that is much of a worry. I do feel like this bag wouldn't last up if it was going to be felt like though, you know, maybe feeling what the parts are inside, stuff like that. So I don't know if it would necessarily work for Lego minifigures. I'm assuming Lego's already tried that and it didn't work, and that's why we have these boxes here instead of like a paper or instead of the foil, which we all wish the foil would come back. But like I said, it does seem pretty durable and things like that. Obviously, the instructions for this build are nowhere to be found. They must be here somewhere in the magazine, but like I said, you guys didn't tune into this video to hear about the magazine. You guys wanted to hear about this Lego Polybag. So overall, my opinion on these Lego Polybags is so far so good. I do see this working in the future. Like, it seems like a very durable plastic. I like the packaging. I think it looks good. I don't love the creases that can be found in the front of it, but it does look better on camera. Like when I was even filming the B-roll for this clip, the plastic polybag was really hard to get a good glimpse at without getting a glare, but this one being paper, there was no glare, so it does appear nicer on camera. In terms of actual design itself, honestly, I don't think most people save their polybags, so they probably don't really care. It's not like Lego boxes and box art and stuff like that. It is important, and I do think this looks good. I like the color scheme. I do think Lego, you know, if I see these in the stores, I can see them continuing on with the paper poly bags, but I am really interested to see, because I've did a lot of research on the paper Lego bags that we're getting in the Lego sets, and there's a lot of articles about it. However, there's not many articles about the paper bags that we would find as poly bags. Obviously, the switch to minifigures was a big deal earlier this year, but poly bags are still kind of up in the air. This was the first one I've ever seen that was done in paper. I have not seen any other YouTube videos or anything like that done in paper as well. Maybe it's just because it was in Europe, maybe not, but I'm really curious to learn a little bit more. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for checking out today's video where I showed you the first ever Lego paper poly bag I've ever seen, and the first ever Lego bag that I've seen, period. I know some people have got them in the sets recently. I have not yet, so I am looking forward to it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and stay tuned because I've got lots more videos coming very soon.